It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
So active versus passive management. This is, do you buy the index fund or do you buy somebody who says they can do better than the index fund? And here's what we found was interesting.
Yeah, so we're only looking at domestic equities, so large cap, mid cap, and small cap. We didn't venture out into like international or asset classes. And so we wanted to say, of active managers, how many beat the market, beat the index that they're pegged to over a 15-year time period?
That's a decent period of time.
So when we think about large cap, these are the companies that you've all heard of, Apples, Googles, Home Depots, those types of companies. 8%.
So wait a minute. We want to make sure everybody understands what they're hearing and looking at. How many active managers beat the market? 8%. Now I'm going to do the other side of that math. That means the S&P 500 beats 92% of active management over 15 years.
That's exactly what that says.
Wow.
All right. Well, okay. So there aren't as
That can't get worse, can
so
it?
there aren't as many large. I mean, there aren't as many large cap because they're in mid cap. So surely, if you're like a mid cap manager, you can go, get into the details of the balance sheets and statements. So mid cap managers surely have to be more successful, right?
I love, by the way, I'm describing this because I want my podcast listeners to know. These things, like the first one is a guy who's crying. It's a cartoon character who's crying. The mid cap is 5%. Only 5% of active managers beat the mid cap index. Now Daniel has them holding a box. I had a visual immediately of somebody who just got laid off, because they're carrying their box of goods down to the car. So 95% of managers are getting beat by the index fund. Let's look at small cap. This one blew my mind because it was not too long ago that you would tell everybody, go buy large cap because that's an efficient market. But small cap and international, those potentially active managers could do it because it's an inefficient marketplace. What does the data actually show us?
It actually shows us that only 2% of active small cap managers beat the market over a course of 15 years, beat their stated index.
So the graphic that Daniel chose on this one is the guy just straight up has a bag on his head. So because 98% of the time, active management in the small cap space was beat by just buying the index for small cap. That's incredible.
Now I can already hear people saying this because I have people give me this argument all the time. No, but look, there are managers who can do it. Look, there are 8% of large cap and 5% of mid cap and 2% of small cap that can do that. I've just got to go make sure I pick those managers. Yeah, I mean, you also just got to make sure you pick the right numbers when you play the lottery. It's kind of the same sort of analysis. The deck is stacked against you. It's just a lot easier to get really low-cost, broad, diversified exposure across index funds.
Well, and also there's consistency.
That's exactly
right.
right.
This 15 years, we're going to fast forward another 15 years. There's a good chance the 8% that outperforms 15 years in the future is going to be a different group, but yet we're going to be comparing it to the exact same investment, which is the S&P 500. So just be aware of that. This is the dirty little secret of the investment marketplace is I think a lot of people that are managers, they buy index funds for themselves.
We call them closet indexes.
Yeah, so I mean, just be aware of that.